Hi, good afternoon. I'm coming to you live from beautiful Miami, as you can see here. Looking forward to a beautiful evening at Miami, the only city in the United States where I don't have an accent. Anyway, I'm here to apply to CFO of the Center, Centro de Información para América Latina, the Dun and Bradstreet. And there's several reasons why I think I am perfect for this job. But I'm going to talk about three of them, basically. One is my experience, my abilities, and the knowledge I have of the region. First of all, before I go into that, I want to assure you that I have enough financial knowledge to run. I know my debits and credits. I know how to run a finance function. General and financial accounting, budgeting and planning, treasury, optimization of cash flows, AR, accounts receivable, accounts payable, billing, etc., etc. I've had, payroll, and I've handled or supervised actually. Payroll reported to me, IT has reported to me, several positions that I've held, as well as purchasing, part of purchasing, not all of it. I've reported to myself as well. My experience starts with IBM, where I was an internal auditor, and I did very well. I had excellent experience there. My personality, being analytical, it lends itself to the kind of work that I was doing at IBM, and I did very well. As a result of that, I was offered the job of directing the internal audit department of a large holding company in Chile. When I got there, they had about 160 different businesses they own, either wholly or with large majority ownership. Anyway, I ran about anywhere from 3 to 5 audits at the same time. And I would be jumping from, spending a couple of days or 3 days at a winery and then going to a bank or an insurance company, a beer company, a construction company, etc., mining. Anyway, so I have experienced to a certain degree of detail a lot of businesses and how they're run and so on. And I have reviewed, hundreds of different processes, either directly by me doing the work or supervising and understanding these processes. Now, my method is basically I like to get to the data directly. My analysis is data-based. The conclusions come from the data. The data leads us to conclusions. So I like to get the data myself. I work with SAP, and I work with QuickBooks as well. But like I said, I use ACL or other retrieving language, and I get the data and analyze it in Excel or Access or another type of software, and get the analysis I want. And it's this type of thing that has led me to be promoted, because I come up with interesting observations, insights, and many times this result in large amounts of money. In IBM, just in one review where there was a problem, they had a task force looking at it, and we were told not to look at it. Of course, I did, but on my own time, and I found the problem that the task of several people did not find. Anyway, so I have this knack for finding problems and analytical and so on. So my contributions were important, and so they offered me the position of being the CEO of a mutual fund that had $400 million in assets and about 12,500 different accounts. I did that very well, but the market then went south for the mutual funds, and then I came back to the States again. I like to think of myself as being creative, uh, as I said, analytical, enthusiastic. I like to think that my enthusiasm is contagious, that I get people involved and they want to get going with things. Uh, Although that I have my own ideas. By that I mean I contribute with my own ideas, my own point of view, as I say, by thinking a little bit outside the box and so on. But my most important ability in this area is not what I contribute myself, but what I make others contribute. I like to work. I'm at my best when working in a group, planning a strategy, for example, where we get data, we analyze it, I pose what is the objective, what is it we're trying to accomplish, and the means we have, and so on, and I direct things so that people, in an atmosphere where they can freely talk and promote and propose, ideas, and we develop concepts, and excuse me, and you know, because the fact that they are involved in this, there's a couple of things. Number one, you get a better conclusions and better decisions because of that. And second, you have the buy-in of those that are later on turn around and implement these ideas and concepts. I like to be one that starts by creating strategy from the bottom up. In other words, get the information from the trenches. You get at the data and look at at what's going on, then go back, analyze it, and go back for more data. It's like a cycle. Pretty much what McKinsey does, the consulting firm. Yes, they have a similar, basically the same idea about facing problems and solutions, because I'm looking for solutions. And the third thing that I want to refer to is the knowledge I have of Latin America. I have worked in last count 17 different countries in Latin America. I've been to the 10 largest, all of the largest countries in South America, most of the countries in Central America and the Caribbean, and of course Mexico. I was a CEO of a company in Mexico that I managed from here, from Miami. We did very well. They wanted me to move there, but I wanted to stay in Miami, so I trained somebody else, and I've consulted for them a couple of times after I left. So I know I've been to what? I think I've been to 21 cities in Mexico, so I know the area very well. I understand the subtleties between countries and cultures, and sometimes the nuances, and sometimes not so subtle cultural difference that exist. And I speak, of course, the languages. Besides Spanish, I speak a very mean Portuguese. I have a CPA, an MBA, a CPA from Santiago, Chile, from Chile. I have an MBA, an economics degree from the University of Chile, and an MBA from Pace University here in New York. And I am a certified internal auditor, and I have other licenses that I have, like in insurance and other things. I have dictated seminars and conferences in Mexico and in Chile for executives. I've had when I was in Chile directing the mutual fund, I together with a couple of other people, we created what we call the Breakfast Club, where we would gather executives and so on, and we would do this with different groups. We would have two of this a week, but we would do it different groups, and very good exchange ideas. Although this was towards the time that I was leaving, so I never saw really the fruits of that, but it's very promising. I have many ideas about what can be done with this in Dun and Bradstreet, which has such a fantastic name and so very well known. And I don't know, some of them might be applicable, some of them might not. But anyway, what else can I say? I have a sense of humor. I am committed. Um, my wife said I should be committed. No, I am. I take a compromise seriously. I am perseverant. Uh, I like to think that my enthusiasm is contagious. And well, I hope you would be interested in further exploring this possibility of me being the CFO for Dun Sprit Latin America. With that, I say thank you for your attention and hope to hear from you. Goodbye.